Today, we have another top 5 video. First, we did top 5 overall players in the class 2023. Then we did the top 5 cornerbacks for the class 2023. Then we moved on to the top 5 players from the state of California. And I followed that up with the top 5 wide receivers for the class 2023. Now, we have the top 5 players from the state of Florida. As everybody knows, Florida produces some of the best athletes in all of college football and even the NFL. So this list, I already know it's going to be crazy. But before we get into the video, go ahead and smash the like button if you like this series, and comment below which position you'll like to see next. And also comment below which state you'll like to see next. But let's get into the video.
Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine. Whose world?
So, according to 24/7 Sports, the state of Florida actually has 9 5-stars. But, as you guys know, we want to do the top 5 here on Scoops World. You know what? Before we get into the actual top 5, I'll briefly mention the other 4 players who are right outside of the top 5, but put in the hard work and was gifted with that 5-star rating. So, starting off with the number 9 ranked player in the state of Florida, we have Jaylen Brown, who plays wide receiver and stands at 6'1", 170 pounds. Jaylen goes to Gulliver Prep in Miami, Florida. He is the number 29th ranked overall player for the class 2023 and the number 4 receiver. Moving on to number 8th ranked player for the state of Florida, who is a 5-star, we have Malik Bryant, who stands 6'2" and 235 pounds. Now, Malik plays the edge position on the defensive side of the ball. He goes to Jones High School in Orlando, Florida, and is a 23rd overall ranked player for the class 2023 and the 3rd edge player. The number 7th ranked player for the state of Florida, we have Carnell Tate. Now, Tate plays wide receiver. He's 6'2" and 185 pounds. He goes to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, and is the number 21st ranked player and the number 3 wide receiver for the class 2023. Moving on to the 6th ranked player in the state of Florida, we have Richard Young, who plays running back. He's 5'11" and 200 pounds. He goes to Lehigh Senior High School in Lehigh Acre, Florida. Now, Richard is the number 18th overall ranked player for the class 2023 and the number 1 running back. Comment below if you guys would like me to go over the top 5 running backs in the class 2023. But the number 1 running back lives in the state of Florida. Now that we went over the players ranked 6 through 9 for the state of Florida, because they're all 5 stars, I will finally go over the top 5 players. Starting off at number 5, we have Keon Keeley, who plays edge and stands at 6'5", 230 pounds. Now, Keon goes to Berkeley Prep in Tampa, Florida. He is the 16th ranked player in the nation and the number 1 edge player in the nation. Keon is currently committed to Notre Dame, and he picked the Irish over offers from Florida, Florida State, Michigan, and others. From a physical standpoint, Keeley is the definition of an edge pass rusher. He has very long arms, bends extremely well, and provides explosive movements directly ahead and laterally. Keeley flashes some speed to power ability. His length allows him to get into bodies of linemen consistently, where he wins with leverage. He is also an excellent backside defender. Moving on to the number 4th ranked player from the state of Florida, we have Samuel Mpemba, who is an athlete and stands at 6'4", 230 pounds. Samuel goes to IMG Academy, but he's actually from St. Louis, Missouri. He is the 13th ranked player in the nation and the number 1 athlete for the class of 2023. Mpemba is obviously one of the top overall prospects for the class of 2023 in the country, but his recruitment largely remains a mystery. The 6'4", 230 pounder holds more than 30 offers and narrowed his list down to a top 12 back in mid-September. That list included some of the biggest programs in college football: Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Florida State, LSU, Miami, Michigan, Missouri, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Penn State, and Texas A&M. 2 weeks later, he added Oregon to that list. And at that point, it appeared that he was ready to commit, but that never happened. Mpemba is one of the country's most versatile athletes. Although Notre Dame is primarily recruiting him to play on the defensive side of the ball in their hybrid Viper position, Mpemba has exclusively played on the offensive side of the ball at IMG Academy. On3, Director of Scouting and Rankings, said Samuel Mpemba has his highest ceiling as a pass rusher, but because of the team's incredible depth on the defensive side of the ball, he has been used as a tight end / H-back at IMG. He's a twitchy athlete at 6'4" and 230 pounds, who who played as a pass rusher and a receiver at his previous high school in Missouri before transferring to IMG. Ultimately, I feel like his highest upside is at the pass rusher position. The stature, length, and quickness are there for him to develop over time into a top rusher. Now moving on to the number 3 player from the state of Florida is Brandon Inniss, who plays wide receiver, stands at 6 foot and 190 pounds. Now Brandon goes to American Heritage High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's the number 9th ranked overall player in the nation and the number 1 wide receiver. I actually went over the top 5 wide receivers in my last video. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it at the end of this video. Now Brandon's top 4 schools appears to be Alabama, Miami, Ohio State, and USC. He's one of the most college-ready wide receivers to come out of high school in recent years. He is an elite route runner with a competitive edge that can take over games and beat double coverages. Now, he is not the longest of wideouts, but has a thicker build to him and plays much bigger than his frame suggests with dependable hands. In 2021, Brandon was thrust into QB during his junior season. He accounted for 1,253 total yards of offense, which included 341 receiving and 308 rushing, and also was responsible for 11 touchdowns. Moving on to the number 2 player from the state of Florida, we have Francis Mauigoa, who plays offensive tackle, stands 6'6", 325 pounds. Francis goes to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. He's the number 8th ranked player for the class 2023 and the number 2 offensive tackle. Francis' top schools seem to be Alabama, Oregon, and USC. Francis is a massive two-way lineman who shows high-level potential on both sides of the offensive line. He projects as an offensive tackle or a defensive tackle, and where his body is at in a few years will likely determine which side of the ball he'll play on. This past year, Francis was a way more dominant player on the defense side of the ball, where he showed a ton of raw power and physicality. He can dominate at the point of attack, has a very quick first step, and can run down plays from behind. He projects as a Power 5 starter. And that leads us to the number 1 player from the state of Florida, and that is Cormani McClain, who plays corner, stands at 6'1½" and 165 pounds. Now McClain goes to Lake Gibson High School in Lakeland, Florida. He is the number 3 nationally ranked player and the number 1 cornerback for the class 2023. His top schools are Alabama, BYU, Florida, Miami, Michigan, and Ohio State. His NFL player comparison is Greedy Williams. Now McClain is a two-way player, but was tabbed as a defensive player of the year for his area this past season. I mean, he totaled a school record 10 interceptions. He played in the same secondary as Florida State signee Sam McCall. McClain looks the part with long arms and long legs. He is a two-way athlete with elite ball skills that has also produced at the wide receiver position, but projects as a cornerback on the next level, given how he moves and changes directions. He is smooth in his back pedal for someone who initially started his career on the offensive side of the ball. He is a quick trigger player, which leads to plenty of takeaways. He's not the strongest individual, but understands how to fight with his hands and redirect at the line of scrimmage. And there you have it, the top 5 players from the state of Florida for the class 2023. Just looking at this list, it's crazy. The state of Florida has the number 1 corner and the number 1 wide receiver. If you love college football or college football recruiting, go ahead and smash the like button. Comment below which top 5 position you'd like to see next and top 5 out of which state you'd like to see next. And subscribe to the channel because it's free. But until next time,